Hey, what's up, everybody? This is UnhingedGaming, and I'm coming in hot with some more fresh, high-quality content. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that has been a very big thing. It seems like it's all anyone wants to talk about lately. Everyone and their dog has been worked up about this. And I'm actually a little bit late to the party. I was going to make a video about this on Saturday, and then it just didn't end up happening because of life, yada, yada, yada. But it still seems pretty relevant, and that is... as I'm sure you're aware because you clicked on the video and most likely looked at the title and the thumbnail, which is what made you click on it, this is about net neutrality. And that's something that, again, has been super huge on the internet right now. Everyone's talking about it, and there's a lot of opinions and misconceptions and a lot of just shit flying around everywhere. So I thought I'd just take a minute to talk about it and kind of give my thoughts on it, as well as just clear up a couple of things because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit. That, there's a lot of people who are for it because it's, gives businesses better business. It'll be good for the economy, blah, blah, blah. But I think that a lot of people don't realize quite the extent of where it could go. So essentially, net neutrality is what we have now. I'm not sure if there's a word for what the opposite, but really it's just the lack thereof, where they're trying to get rid of net neutrality. And if that were to pass, it would essentially mean that... at its most basic level, it would mean that businesses could pay ISPs to have a stronger connection on their servers. So in other words, if you go to a small privately owned website, it's going to load 10 times slower than if you go to a really big website like YouTube, for example. That's at its most basic level, and that is where it's like messed up, but it's not as big of a deal to most people. If you're a website owner or you use a lot of small websites, then that would be unbeneficial to you, but it also wouldn't be a massive, it's essentially just things are going to load slower, which isn't a huge deal. But it can go a lot more extreme than that, and that's like where people tend to kind of stop their search, is at that definition. But where it's more likely to go is where ISPs have complete control over what websites you use, when you use them, how you use them. And what that would mean is, for example, an ISP owns Yahoo, so you can only use the Yahoo search engine, and you can only use the Yahoo email service. And if you want to use anything else, for example, if you want to search with Google, or if you want to use your Gmail account, or you want to log into YouTube, then you have to spend extra per month to get those websites. And that's where it gets a bit more extreme. And again, like, a lot of people say things like, it's not that different than or already experiencing. You already pay more for different speeds, and that's not the same thing. A lot of people think it's just like you're just paying for again, like, a stronger connection to those websites and things like that. No, you're paying to use them, is how it could go. And it could be to the point of where the most basic bundle allows you to use one search engine, one email service, not download anything. Basically, you can't do anything but conduct searches and maybe go to a few websites that contain answers to whatever question or whatever it is that you're doing. And then you might have to pay for literally everything else. So, you want to use the Google search engine, then you have to pay another $5 a month. You want to get on YouTube, you have to spend another $5 a month. And it could actually go really similar to microtransactions in gaming, where it's like you have this most basic level of content, and then you have these passes where you can get quote unquote bonus stuff that that is not real. Like, it should just be there. It's really similar to that in the way of that, like, you get really basic array of websites that you can use that are probably owned by your ISP, and then everything else you have to pay extra for. And if you wanted to, you could get like a season pass type thing where it's like, you know, spend $20 a month and you get everything owned by Google. You get Gmail, YouTube, the Google search engine, all of that. But that's how it could be, where it's like you have to spend money on literally everything, and there could be, you know, packages where you get a better deal if you get all of it at once and things like that. But regardless, it would change the internet for, like, on a very fundamental level. It would not be the same, and because everyone's lives are so integrated with the internet, that would make some very major changes, even societally and economically. Like, people are saying, you know, it'd be a good thing for our economy. It's really not, because the only people who are able to really benefit from this would be the really big organizations. It would just make them richer, and that's not really going to circulate or trickle down into our economy, because they're all pretty greedy, and not all of them are even necessarily completely in America. And so it's really wouldn't be very beneficial, because you'd be spending a lot of money, and their employees aren't necessarily going to be getting a lot of that money, because especially the way that the economy is going, they're more likely to just be holding on to all of that extra cash, because they're functioning just fine now without it, so they can function just fine spending the same amount and just raking in more. So I don't see it really having a huge benefit to our economy, but it could really change the internet and change, you know, just what you can do. And the other thing that really bothers me about it is, like, already the internet privacy, whatever it was, has been dropped. Everyone knows that. What we do on the internet is not secure anymore. Basically, our ISPs can see everything. They don't have to tell us when they're tracking what we're doing, and they can sell that information if they want to. But when you have something where it's like, I'm actually going to prevent you from using these websites, it feels even more like you're being watched. Like, you know, and then when you have to pay to use certain websites, it feels even more personal. And it feels very, I don't know. The internet is really meant to be a free, it's an outlet for freedom of expression. It's meant to be very user-based, so to have it be controlled to that degree. And the thing is, we're talking about corporations here, and the only language corporations speak is money. So don't think that they will stop where it's ethical. Like, whatever they can get away with, they will try to get away with. So if they're given free reign, then don't have no misconception, they will start charging for everything that does not benefit them. Because why wouldn't they? Then they're getting paid. They're getting paid if you use their websites, and they're getting paid if you pay them to use other websites. So why wouldn't they make it so that no matter what, you have to give them money? But anyway, that's kind of just my thoughts on the whole thing, and just clearing up some misconceptions. I personally think that it's a terrible idea, and I think that it needs to be fought as much as possible. So definitely do whatever you can in your community to spread awareness about it and to make your voice heard. It's a big deal, and it needs to be treated like a big deal. The internet is very, whether we like it or not, we're very involved with the internet, and so when you change the internet, you're changing people's lives. But let me know in the comments down below, you know, if you have a different opinion about it, if you think it's a great thing. I'd love to hear your reasons for that. And also, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button. And also subscribe if you would like to see more, and hit that notification bell. I do upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, bar this Saturday. It's the first day I've missed in a long time. Also, make sure to check out my social media, my Twitter at UnhingedTweetYT, and my Twitch at UnhingedGamingYT. All of the links are down in the description. Make sure to check them out. In the meantime, I've been Unhinged Gaming, and I will see you next time.